Fun fact, the biggest ever mineral rush that ever happened in the Northern America happened here in the UP of Michigan. And this was for the copper rush, where Michigan Teknoloji University is centered, which was opened in 1885 as a mining school to give classes and education to the people and the migrants that were coming from Europe to here to mine. So, my journey to Michigan Teknoloji University. I was finishing my undergraduate degree in Turkey, and I had interest in focusing and also pursuing my education in a certain department, a certain topic, which I think wasn't enough knowledge that I had gained. So I went on to check into other countries like South Africa, Australia, Canada, so that I'll be able to further my education in a country that speaks English, that's the first thing, and then a country that also has a big mining industry, mind you. So I went on to look into South Africa, Australia, and Canada, and the requirements they needed wasn't matching with what I had at that time. I needed to wait for about a year for me to be able to acquire the requirements that they needed for my application. And some of the universities also needed me to find a professor who I will work with so that I'll be able to start even the process of application. So that made it a bit difficult. I needed to be able to get into classes as soon as possible, not wasting much of my time and most of my time because of some personal things that were happening in life. So as a graduate, a new graduate, I didn't have much knowledge for the industry. I only had done 3 internships back in Turkey, wonderful place. I did in mineral processing, I did it in underground and open pit mines. With that experience, that kind of gave me a jump or like a step forward and to look into what the industry has. But I needed to further education. So I applied, looked into the 4,000 or 6,000 degree offering universities in the US. Only 14 of them offer mining engineering as a degree, either on an undergraduate level, on a graduate level, or a PhD level. Only 14. That decreased my options on what I was supposed to apply for. But then I took all the 14 universities that they offer here and looked into the requirements and looked onto the fees, looked onto the application fees. Then the least that I saw was Michigan Tech. For application fee, I think it's still the same. You can also go ahead and look, $10 cap for international students, and it's free for US citizens. So I then went on to apply to Michigan Tech, and the requirements that they needed was at least 2 reference letters from people who you've worked with closely, or from your professors. At that time, I didn't have much luck of a solid experience from the industry. I had to take references from my professors that I worked with or that I was close with at the university. The second thing that they need is an English exam. Mind you, if you did your undergraduate or your graduate degree or your previous degree from an English-speaking university or country, then you do not require this. But I came from an English-speaking country in Zimbabwe, and we speak English, we study in English, but because I studied my undergraduate degree in Turkey, they needed me to get an IELTS or a TOEFL exam. So a TOEFL, you have to be at least 79 out of 120, and for the IELTS you need to have 6.5, at least 6.5 as a minimum credit that you would have acquired from that English exam. And then the third thing that you need to have is the $10 fee, of course, if you are an international student, of which I assume I'm speaking to international students. So, and the other thing that you're going to require is a transcript from your school or your diploma or your degree certificate. It doesn't have to be official. If you just have something that is also unofficial, like you still have like a semester to finish your school, or if you are going to finish this coming fall, if you do not have your diploma, your graduate certificate yet, now it's not a problem. I myself, I applied before I even graduated, before I finished all my required courses for me to acquire those 240 credits for me to graduate. So you can also do that unofficial transcript, and you can get it sent in the portal. So some universities like Montana Tech, they want the school to send those stuff to them, not through you. So that was a bit of an ease with Michigan Tech there. I had to do it all myself, and there was no any fussy thing for me to go to the administration and try to convince them to send an unofficial transcript to this particular university in the US. Because mind you, some universities, they have never done that process before. They've never went through that, and it's just something new. That was the case for me. So they were kind of like, this is new for us, we don't even know. So they're just afraid to go above what they can do, or they've never done this before. Are they making a mistake? Are they letting university information be exposed somewhere else? So there's just that random things that is not also just relevant. And sometimes you just have to accept and sign the transcript. It's just a transcript. If I can get it, I can send it anywhere. So if you can send it, maybe their name is on it and stuff. But some universities want it done that way. But for Michigan Tech, it wasn't the case. So I went on and applied. That was in December of 2023. And then I graduated in June 2024. So I applied even before I graduated. And about 3 months down the line, 2 months down the line, I got accepted. Yay! Time, right? That was a yay time, and I remember getting that acceptance was kind of like a big game changer for me. And I knew, like, okay, even if I am not going to end up being there, but at least applying and getting acceptance from somewhere, that kind of like, okay, it gives you that positive vibe with it, it gives you that confidence for you when you're applying to other universities. So this is meant before you even graduate, but it's also normal. It's a requirement. It happens. Most universities don't want you to graduate for you to apply to further your studies into an extent degree. So I went on to do that, and then I now like, okay, yay moment, right? That was my first year moment, and I needed to apply for a visa. I was like, oh, okay, there is the visa. I'm not yet anywhere close to moving on to this education level. And I was like, okay, let me apply for the visa. Applied in Turkey. So in Turkey, we have 2 US consulates that you can apply to for visas. One is in Ankara and one is in Istanbul. If for Zimbabwe at this moment in time, I think it's closed, and we are taking our visas in Johannesburg in South Africa, or in Pretoria in South Africa as well. The one that is in Harare is temporarily closed at this moment in time. So for some concerns, so what happened is I applied to the one in Istanbul, and at first I'd applied the one in Ankara because it's easier for me to get to get an acceptance. So my spouse had gotten accepted for a tourist visa in Ankara, so I wanted to go to Ankara, but then I got a closer date in Istanbul where I wanted faster results, which I kind of learned, like, now you need patience. I wasn't patient. I went on to pick up that earlier date in Istanbul. Went on straight to the interview. I still remember it was 10 June of 2024, and my school was starting in August 2024. So my school was starting in August, January. So I went on to appointment in June. So it was like 6 months before. And of course, I prepared all my stuff, and I had all things ready. What then happened, I go to the interview. The first question that was asked, I still remember, she was like an Asian American woman, and she kind of like asked, okay, what are you going to, what are you going to study when you're in the US? And I mentioned what I was going to study, and I tried to explain more and more, and she cut me. It's like, okay, what are your plans after graduation? And then I explained how my plans were. Of course, you know the drill, you have to go back to your country and also improve using that education that you've got, of which this was one of my main reasons for going and get an American education. And she cut me again. It was going great. And then she told me, okay, she asked me another question. Why are you, when did you come to Turkey? And then I just said, I came into Turkey in 2019. And then I was shut. I didn't know what to say later, of which I said, at this moment in time, I can offer you a visa. I was like, okay. It was denied. And then I was like, okay, it was a bummer. It was a bummer to my face. You know, if you could imagine filling a balloon with water and then hit it to your face, then it's just like boom, and the water is cold, like how it is outside right now. You just kind of like, okay, imagine how devastating it was, but there was still joy. Of course, there was still joy, and you're like, okay, resilience and going, still moving forward with what we're doing. That didn't stop me doing what my life was, and kept on going, and a lot of stuff happened. And then sometimes you get to feel like you realize, yeah, this was the hand of God. He was like leading you not to do this. You took the step, and then he kind of like pushed you back, and you like didn't like this, and then later on you continue with your life, and you see like later on you realizing, well, exactly this was God's plan. I wasn't supposed to get it that time, because if I had get it, things would have been so much different as it is right now. So a bummer came after that acceptance, and later on with the same acceptance, I had to defer it to the fall of the next year. So a lot of change in my life, blessings upon blessings happened, and I had to, when I was visiting back my family with my spouse, to see my dad, to see my aunts, to see my relatives and my friends. It was a wonderful time back in Zimbabwe. It was their first time visiting the continent of Africa, by the way. So it was super exciting for her and for me. We went on visiting South Africa, visited Zimbabwe from my hometown in Chinhoyi. She loved the city. The city is so nice. I mean, the city is so nice that you can't even see any brown thing on top of the trees. It's super green. Everywhere is green. Yeah, it was beautiful. She loved it, and hoping to visit back. Shout out to Chinhoyi. And after that, we had to schedule an appointment for that same admission in Zimbabwe. At that time, the US consulate in Zimbabwe was still open. The building is still there and all, but just temporarily closed. That's a bummer for a lot of folks in Zim right now. And so we then went on to apply, and then we went to the visa. We got the visas. They were like, yay! A second yay, right? Like, wow, things are happening, and we finally have to go and further education right now. You know, everything comes with this weight. So I know, like, okay, this door has been opened, and by the grace of God, we were going to manage to go and to come and and further education. Now, after that, we got our visa, I think, 4 months before. So the rule for an F1 student and for students that are coming to the US, you don't hear, even if you get your visas 4 months prior to your class starting, you cannot come in. You have to travel prior to 30 days of your classes starting date. So that 30-day period was important. We had to wait for 3 months, 4 months more for us to be able to travel to the US. And what then happened later on, we finally managed to come, and we're here now. And all the process that was happening, it was good, it was great. We finally arrived here. Before that, we traveled to see my aunt, and we stayed with her for a couple of weeks before we came up here. And that is how we find ourselves being here at Michigan Teknoloji University. A wonderful place to be for an international student. Definitely, it's a great place, great small city, city of Houghton. Shout out to the Houghton people, great people, friendly people. We're enjoying our time, and we hope that this helps you. And if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please feel free to write it into the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video to other guys who would find this information valuable for them if they want to come to US and further their education, and then later on get to use that education to improve the economies of their countries or in any different sector. This doesn't only have to apply for my sector. I would testify that this process also is valuable and valid to each and any other department as well. So it was a great time having you guys. I hope you enjoy your time. Happy Christmas and a Happy New Year.